Hi, I'm Jeff. I'm a personal trainer, and I'm going to show you some stretches that you should do if you sit a lot, especially at work, in order to avoid a sore back, shoulders, and neck. And I'm going to work my way from the neck down. So first, we're going to do the chin tuck. It stretches the upper trapezius muscle. So we're going to pull our shoulder blades down and together in the back. That opens up the chest wide. And then we're going to pull our chin straight back like we're trying to make a double chin. It's what the Marines do when they have to stand at attention. Now, your chin should be level, not pulled down towards your chest. So think chin tuck is straight back. You'll feel this stretch at the base of the skull. It's one of the origination points of the upper traps. You want to hold this for about 30 seconds, then rest, and you can repeat. Next up are neck rotations, and this helps keep your cervical spine mobile. So we're just going to slowly turn our head from side to side like we're watching a tennis match in slow motion. We're going to want to go over to the side as much as possible without hurting the neck. We can do a half a dozen times here and then rest, and then we'll do a half a dozen rotations to either side again. Next up are chin U-scoops. So we're going to start this by looking up at the top left corner of the room, and then we're going to slowly bring the chin down towards the chest. You can even kind of scrape the chin against the chest, and then slowly go up to looking in the other corner of the room up to the far right, and then pause for a second. We'll slowly come back down, bring the chin down near the chest, and look back up towards the left side of the room. So we're basically making a long sloping U with our chin and head, hence the name chin U scoops. We'll do 10 of these, and then you can rest and repeat. Now, a good way to help your shoulders feel better is stretching the upper trapezius, which we also stretched in our chin tucks. So we're going to start by we'll take my right arm, bend it, and put it behind my back, and then lower that shoulder as much as possible. And then reach over the top of your head with your other hand, and grab that far side of the head with your left hand and pull it towards the left. And then we're going to hold for about 20 seconds. We're creating as much space as we can between the ear and the shoulder. And then after about 20 seconds, we're just going to keep that head tilted to the side, but we're going to rotate down so we're looking at the armpit on our left arm. And we're going to hold that for 20 seconds. You're going to be able to feel this pulling over here. And then after about 20 seconds or so, we're going to keep that head tilted, but now we're going to rotate up and look away from that left armpit as much as possible. And you're going to feel that stretch here more in the back on the opposite side. We'll hold for 20 seconds for a total of a minute, and then rest. You can repeat, of course, on the other side, which we suggest. Up, down, and straight ahead. The crossbody shoulder stretch will relax the back of your rotator cuff. So we're going to put one arm straight out in front, and then we're going to pull it in towards our chest with our other hand positioned just above the elbow. Now, the elbow of the arm you're stretching should be bent. We can hold for 30 seconds and then repeat on the other arm. Now, another way to loosen up your shoulders is doing arm circles. So we're just going to extend our arms straight out to the side and do small circles in one direction for about 15 seconds. And then we're slowly going to make those circles bigger and bigger and bigger. And then after about 30 seconds, we're just going to stop, start doing small arm circles in the other direction. And then we're going to make those circles bigger, bigger, and bigger. Now, the easiest and most basic version of arm circles is with the palms facing downward. And another easy version with the palms facing forward. You'll feel a little more tension in the shoulders if we turn and do the palms facing upwards and do our arm circles, because we're rotating our humerus towards the back. We're in external rotation of the humerus here. And then, of course, we can also do palms facing backwards arm circles. This is also aggressive on those shoulders. And we do this for a total of a minute, 30 seconds in one direction, 30 seconds in another. A great way to loosen up the mid back and shoulder blades is doing the wall stretch. You can do this either seated or standing. I'll just do it seated. Start by reaching your arms as far overhead as you can reach. If you're standing, you can slide your hands up a wall or maybe a door as far as you can. And then we're going to bring those shoulders up next to your ears as much as possible. Hold for 30 seconds and repeat. And just try to breathe nice and calmly while you're holding this. As you exhale, just try to let a little of the tension in your back out with each exhalation. Hold for 30 seconds and repeat. You definitely want to stretch your latissimus dorsi, aka your lats, two big muscles located in the middle part of your back, one on each side of the spine. So we're going to do this by raising your right arm diagonally across the left side of your body. We're going to grab just above your right elbow with your left hand, raise that arm up as high as possible and over as far to the left as possible while turning your upper body towards the left as well. So the lat is you're going to be able to see it right in here. So by pulling up and away, we're really giving that a stretch. It attaches down to the hip. And it attaches also on the upper end here to the arm. So getting that arm and hip as far apart from each other as possible is a great way to stretch that. We'll hold for 30 seconds. Then, of course, we'll stretch that lat on the other side. There's other ways to stretch the lat, but this is a good one you can do at your desk. A good way to stretch our middle back is by doing seated T-spine twists. The T-spine is the thoracic spine. It's the middle section of your back where the shoulder blades are located. It's below the cervical spine, above your lumbar. So we're going to sit in a chair with both feet flat on the floor. I'll lower my camera here. Take my right hand and grab the outside of my left thigh. And then I'm going to pull and turn towards the left using this arm here to help me come around. You want to get the shoulders and chest as far to the left as you can without overextending the neck. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds. We'll pull out of it. Try to keep the hips facing forward. We're going to grab the other outer thigh, turning at the waist. We're going to look in the other direction. Pull that chest and shoulders around as much as possible. Hold for 30 seconds and then relax. A great stretch for the T-spine, the thoracic spine, is seated cat-cows. It's a yoga pose, and it's normally done on hands and knees on the floor. We're going to do it in the chair in case you're doing it at the office. So we're going to sit on the front of our chair with our feet flat on the floor and our hands on our knees. We're going to round our back by slouching forward and dropping our head down to our chin. We're going to hold for 5 seconds. And then we're going to come up, extend the back. So we're going to arch it backwards and then lift the head up. So this is the cow. And then crunching forward, lowering the head is the cat. And we'll rotate between those two positions. You can hold each one 3 to 5 seconds, maybe do them a half a dozen times each. The forward fold is a great way to stretch your lower back. You want to sit on the front edge of your chair with your feet flat on the floor, about a foot apart, your hands on your knees. So we're going to round our back and lean forward as far as we can so our chest is on or near our thighs. We're also going to bend the neck so the chin is in towards the chest. And we're just going to hold that folded over position for 30 seconds. And then we'll slowly straighten back up. You can rest for a few seconds and then repeat. There's a great seated stretch for your piriformis muscle, which is in your hips. You want to cross one ankle over your left knee. Down. And then we can stabilize the foot with the left hand. I'm going to push down on the right knee as much as I can to feel the stretch deep down here in the hip socket. You can also lean forward at the waist while keeping the back straight, and you'll feel that stretch even more aggressively. Or you can sit up straight and turn your upper body into the leg you're stretching. Feel it there, hold for 30 seconds, and then we'll repeat on the other leg. There's an excellent move to stretch your glutes that you can do while you're sitting down. It's kind of like the Piriformis Stretch, where you cross one ankle over the other knee, but instead of pushing down on the knee like the Piriformis Stretch, we actually take that knee and pull it up towards the opposite shoulder. And now I'm feeling the stretch all the way down here in through the gluteus maximus. We'll hold that for 30 seconds and then repeat on the other leg. Your hamstrings are probably tight from sitting too much at your desk or in your car or on the sofa. An easy way to stretch your hammies is sitting near the front of a chair and extend one or both legs out as far as you can with the heels on the floor. So we will do this. I'll do both legs at the same time. You want to be sure to point your toes up to the ceiling or even back towards you as far as possible, but keep the knee straight. On the front of the chair, and we can either hold on to the chair and then lean forward at the waist, and you'll feel a stretch through the upper calves, through the back of the knee, and into the hamstrings. We'll just hold for 30 seconds. First, we want to do just one knee at a time, one leg at a time. You can bend the other knee, put that foot flat on the floor, use that for support, and then reach out, and you're even able to bend over a little more at the waist and get more of a stretch on the hamstrings. Your thighs are probably pretty tight from sitting too much. The best way to stretch your quad is to just stand up and hold on to something, perhaps with your left hand for support. I'm going to turn the camera down. Actually, I'm going to stretch my left. So we just reach down and grab the ankle and then pull that ankle back, really feeling a stretch through that quadricep. The farther back that knee goes like this, the more intense that stretch is going to be, and it's going to come up farther and farther up towards the hip. Easier way, if that's too tight, you can bring that knee out forward. This takes a little of the tension off. And then as you do this more and your thigh gets more flexible, then we can start bringing it back farther and farther. We'll hold 30 seconds or so on this leg, and then we'll repeat on the other leg. A great stretch for your lower leg is the calf soleus stretch. So that is the backside of the lower leg. So we're going to stand facing a wall or something we can hold on to with our feet about 18 inches away from the fixed point, whether it's a wall or whatever. And we're going to have this front leg bent. The back leg is straight with the heel on the floor. We're going to hold for 25 seconds with that heel on the floor, feeling the stretch, mainly through the calf. What we're going to do at 30 seconds is we are going to bend the knee while still keeping the heel on the floor. It's kind of hard to do. You may have to lean back a little bit. Bend that. Now we feel the stretch go from the calf down towards the ankle. That's the soleus muscle down there. And we'll hold that for about 25 seconds for a total of 50, and then we'll switch legs. I'd like to show you a couple of stretches for your forearms to help prevent or treat carpal tunnel syndrome. Now hold one arm straight out in front of you with the palm facing down, and then bend that wrist down. And then pull on the back of the hand with the other hand so you feel a stretch in the muscles and tendons on the top side of your forearm. When I did this for tennis elbow, they had me turn the hand to a diagonal, like a 4 o'clock position on the clock. If you were looking at the face of a clock, we'll hold that for about 30 seconds, and then we'll repeat on the other arm, of course. And then we also want to stretch the underside of the forearm. So we're going to turn the arm over, palm facing upwards, and we're going to bend the wrist backwards, pull on those fingers with the opposite arm. So we're going to feel the stretch in the wrist and all the way up towards the elbow. And we'll hold this for 30 seconds, and then we'll repeat on the other arm. There's a simple stretch for your wrists to help prevent or treat carpal tunnel syndrome, especially if you type at a keyboard a lot while you're sitting at your desk at work. They're called wrist CARs. CARs stand for circular articular rotations. And we're just going to hold both arms out, and we're going to rotate both wrists in one direction for 30 seconds. We'll rotate both wrists in the other direction for 30 seconds as well. Now you can even go opposite directions and then start getting a little more involved in the turns of the wrist to try to get all of the tendons and muscles and ligaments to get stretched out and to do some work and to stay nice and limber. So those are some of my favorite stretches to help protect your posture, prevent pain, and keep your body from getting out of whack, especially if you sit too much. So I'm Jeff. I'm a personal trainer. I would love to hear from you if you have any comments or questions, and I want to thank you for watching.